Okay, now we officially got back from Promare
Yes.
because we went to see it in theaters.
So we saved our discussion of the movie till we got back.
Yeah, it's gonna be heavily spoilerific if you haven't seen it.
So if you want to see Promare,
You probably should,
yes.
especially if you're good, if you want to see it, you probably are gonna see it, like regardless. So you don't need our opinions. But yeah,
Spoilers ahead.
spoilers till the rest of the video, I guess, unless I decide to separate this from the vlog. So recap of what happened.
So Promare.
It's about gay communa, and it's the power of triangles versus the power of squares.
Yes.
Yes. But the squares actually turn out to be triangles, and then circles appear.
Yes.
For a little bit. Okay. So gay communa. There's virile, but they actually kiss. He also reminds me of speaking of we were speaking about Sun and Moon Pokemon. Reminds me of the one kid.
Oh, the boy. Is
his
name like Leon or something?
Leon, the guy?
Like in Sun and Moon?
No, I don't think so. Is he?
The blonde guy with that's like cut like this.
Was his name like N? No, that's the other one. What's Leon? No, Leon's the guy from Promare.
No, Leo's the guy from Promare.
Yeah, but he has the soul of fire, so it's just
Right.
two fire gays.
Two fire gays.
There's blue fire gay. Well, I guess blue fire they're both blue fire gay, and they fight red fire.
Yes.
But red fire is good fire.
It's very confusing.
All fire is good
There
fire.
was lots of like.
Just ignore her. I got her, okay?
There's lots of flip combo turnarounds where you think X is good and then they're bad and then...
I guess so. I never believed any of it.
Yeah,
It's very...
honestly, the villain is pretty much coded villain from the beginning.
Well, he's clearly coded as good guy, but it's very sus. Also, he's square, and square equals bad.
Yeah.
But he turns out to be a triangle.
Yeah. It was kind of like All Cops Are Bad, the movie.
That's true. It was... I think it's Bastards.
Sorry, yeah.
All Cops Are Bastards.
The movie.
Yeah,
Plus-
because there was the firefighters, and then there was clearly the cops.
Yeah.
Because they were also firefighters, but they were like cop firefighters.
Exactly.
They were bad.
Arresting willy-nilly.
The one guy was very Gamagori looking.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
And it was also, I think it's like a global warming movie as well.
Is it?
Well, like, the whole thing is they're like, the world is gonna end.
No, don't fight, Amalthea.
Because of all, the world is gonna end. He's fighting fires. Well, the whole thing is like, the world's gonna end because like the magma is gonna take over.
Yeah.
And-
Well, yeah, I guess it was literally like global warming.
Let me go on.
Okay,
so
sorry.
The bad guy, he's like, instead of fixing the magma problem, I'm just gonna take some people to another planet and live happily. And it's the whole like...
He was also a billionaire, which was immediately, when they were like, he's a billionaire, I'm like, well, he's bad.
I was like, oh, so he's not only the governor of the town, he's also a billionaire?
Yeah. And when you see the science girl, and she's very coded triangle, and I'm like, you're on the fire side.
Hell yeah.
She's got like her secret triangle. She's got like square bangs, but she's triangle.
She had little triangles cut out of her lab coat.
I think we need to explain. I just wanted to. Okay, basically what I'm saying is it's got very good shape language if you
Yeah.
watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are a ow.
Bite.
This is what's happening if you're wondering what these noises are. Sorry, like Serena's been cooped up all day because we went out shopping. And then we went to Promare, so she's just been like, she's got all this pent up energy. Okay, but basically, okay, so Trigger is an anime studio, if you aren't aware, right?
Yeah.
Trigger is basically what happened to Gainax. Gainax being the ones that made Evangelion and Gurren Lagann.
Yep.
And so everything out of Trigger, aside from some things that come from like different writers and directors, has a very specific style, right? Because they made Kill la Kill, and Kill la Kill is very much a spiritual successor to Gurren Lagann.
Yep.
Yeah, it just doesn't have as many mechas.
Yeah.
But this one reminds me so much of Space Patrol Luluco.
Yeah.
It like when I was watching it, I'm like, this is like Space Patrol Luluco if it was more Gurren Lagann than it is Kill la Kill.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whereas like Space Control Luluco is just Trigger at its most Trigger.
Just unbridled Trigger.
But this had very similar vibes to it, but it seemed a lot more in line with Gurren Lagann, given the fact that like it has the main character who is literally just Kamina. It's just Kamina. Like he's a different character.
Yeah.
He has a lot of things that are very Kamina, where I think Kamina wasn't as stupid as this guy. Like this guy, what's his name? Gallo. Gallo is really dumb. He's a really dumb Kamina. But he is clearly designed to look exactly like him, embody that same archetype.
Yeah.
He's got the big flippy hair.
The hair just like
blind
optimism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, well, I find like the studio, I find they have really great character designs.
Yes.
And they're really good with like color language. Like I'd talk about that after, but there was a strong emphasis on like shape in this, and like you could see it throughout the characters, and it was pretty strong in there, but it was very strong in like the set designs and weapon designs and like mecha designs, because like at the very end, ice is represented by like squares, and fire is represented by triangles, which makes perfect sense because fire is a triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like the triangle of elements.
Yeah, it's how you get flame, right?
Yeah, if you take away one, you get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so like when they're fighting at the very end with the Deus Ex Machina thing that turns into the Gallo de Leon, versus the big X. What is it? What's his name?
Cranex X or something?
Kratos?
X?
Cray X? Yeah, whatever. That thing is literally just squares versus like Triangle Boy.
Yep.
Yeah, so... Yeah, because even the firefighters, they have like these kind of square elements throughout their design with like the stripes, but they all have like a little bit of triangle to them. But they're like soft triangles.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the fire guys are like jagged triangles.
Yeah, totally. And then the fire guys have more of like a neon-y palette.
Yes.
Whereas
of green and pink.
Yeah, whereas the main characters tend to towards the traditional palette of blue, red, yellow, which is good, and it works really well with like the firefighter outfit. And then the bad guys have the bad outfits. Yeah, and then the what's his face, the savior of humanity, the Gov. He's like perfect. He's like very angelic.
Yeah, all in white.
And he looks so much like the outfits for like Gamagori and them.
Yeah. The uniforms from
Kill la Kill,
which is like fascist.
yes, it was very fashy. I find that like Trigger like has some very Antifa vibes to the stuff. Yeah. Anyways, I noticed all that.
Yep.
And then the Deus Ex Machina guy was all circles, because it was like the secret water place, I guess, bubbles. I didn't quite get the through line of circles. I realized that circles kind of represent like university stuff, because it was like the only time you kind of saw circles was with the Deus Ex Machina guy when he's explaining what Promare is.
Yep.
Being the aliens are Promare, right?
Yeah.
And then you see it on planets and suns, which makes it feel like a kind of Deus Ex Machina. It's like Hand Within the Machine. vibe,
Right.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
A God in the Machine. What is it?
Ghost in the Machine?
Ghost in the Machine? No, it's God.
Is it?
Yeah. It's like a hand of God thing.
Oh, Deus Ex Machina. Yeah,
right?
you're right. Sorry.
Yeah, because it's the machine or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. It's like the Deus Ex Machina guy is represented by all this circly stuff, and so it's like Promare and like the star and like it's very like spacey stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And kind of beyond the story. I found that's where circles came in.
You're right, because when he's captured and he has the connection with the Promare finally and figures out what they want to do, he's within the circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the core. Oh
yeah,
God.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because like Promare was more represented with like similar to fire.
Mm-hmm.
And there was also a relation to the 3-point star.
You're right.
Yeah, there's like these little 3-point stars that start showing up near the end.
Yeah.
And you'll notice that his big fire putty outy device, it has the same 3-point star design and it's kind of circular, but it's also like jagged. You know, you're bringing it all together at that point.
Totally.
Yeah. I'm just saying that, like, it's probably a smart idea to sit down and think about, like, the shape language in the movie and, like, pull the things together. I really like the homage to the drill.
Yes, that was nice.
Which is also funny, because it's triangles meets circles.
Oh. No, dude.
See, it's like a whole thing. But yeah, it was very Gurren Lagann-y, and the drill was like so obvious. Like when you saw the little drill come down, and then you're like, oh no, they're doing it, and they bring in the drill.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. I think most of the time. Okay, so we went to see it in theater, which was an interesting experience because at some point I sat down and I'm like, oh my god, everyone here is a weeb. Like, I had this moment where I was like, oh my god, this is just a concentrated room full of weeb. And it really was. Like, I stood up at the end and kind of looked at everyone, and it's exactly what the audience you'd expect it to be. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nerdy looking kid.
And then there was the corner that screamed when the two kiss.
Yes.
The breath of life.
Hilarious.
Because there was like the one corner that just like shrieked, and then there was like an eruption of applause.
Yes, everyone clapped. It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was really funny.
I was happy when after they do the kiss, where like because he's like Gallo's resuscitating Leo, and they smooch. Yeah. And afterwards, Gallo freaks out, and I was like, oh no, this isn't gonna be like, oh, I swear I'm not gay, but it's just like, oh my god, I'm a firefighter, you made me light a fire. It's really cute.
I love it. Yeah. I was like, oh no. I don't know how to feel about it, but it was like, you know what, whatever. I'm glad there was something.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was lots of fan service.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which is to be expected.
Yeah.
Take what you want with that.
It wasn't as fan servicey as I'd expected, like with the girls in it.
Yeah, but there was the one girl that every time you saw her, it was like they pointed the shot up her ass and over her back. Like every time you looked at her, she was like that.
Yeah. So I'm surprised they contained it to one character.
Yeah.
It was pretty egregious.
Yeah. It was nice that there was more man meat on display.
Lots of man meat.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was he was constantly naked, which was wonderful.
The boys were always naked.
Yes. Naked firefighter. Like, I'm glad we got that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was really disappointed with, like, the one girl who is just used to, like, show how bad things are. Like, first she, like, transforms into the monster thing, and then they find her again and she just dies. Like, that's all her character is whatsoever.
She was there to be saved and then die.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, I felt bad for the pizza boy too in that respect.
Oh, true.
But they leaned into it. Like, you know, there was just like some, you know, there's aspects to it that are different, you know.
Yeah.
Framing and whatnot that makes it different.
Yeah, true. Because he got.
But these are just like movie things, like I've come to kind of expect.
Yeah.
But they're like, you know, say it nonetheless, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was like, ugh.
Could be more creative with showing these concepts.
Totally.
Yeah.
Music was bopping.
The music was great.
Yeah. It was very, very trigger.
Oh yeah.
It was a little much at times too. I think what made it really feel like Space Patrol Luluco is just the amount of time they had. Because whenever Trigger is condensed to like an hour, because Space Patrol Luluco is like 5-minute episodes, 10-minute episodes, and it's like 5 seasons that could take you like I forget how many hours, but it is not a lot of time. So it is fast. And that's totally what this felt like.
Yes.
It was a freaking trip. And it took me a while to realize why the opening was like that, right, too. But I think it was probably there was like a promo that they had to attach to it. Because it starts with like this big opening scene about like him showing up. And then it like goes to credits. And then it goes to like commercial.
Yep.
Like, and then it comes back and you're like, what? Because it felt like a short film at the beginning. It was really weird.
Just introducing Gallo.
And I think everyone was confused.
Because we thought there was like something went wrong.
Yeah.
Like maybe they skipped to the end of the film. It was weird.
Yeah, it was just weird. I don't know what that was. That was the deal. We never seen normal movies in theater.
No, we always go to see like really small releases in theater.
Yeah. It's such a pain because then you're going on like a Sunday night.
Yeah. What else was there? There were some really cool, like, atmosphere shots and, like, ways they represented the background. Like, the one I'm thinking of in particular is, like, when they first go to the ice lake.
Yeah.
Where it's, like, very...
Ice lake is also a circle.
Oh my god, you're right.
The whole lake is a circle. Made up of triangles.
And it totally explains the shot that's, like, from below the ice. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
There was lots of really good framing to like foreshadow things.
Okay, sorry, we're back. I found it really hard to like watch because I cannot read subtitles, and it's extra hard in theaters where you literally have to look down and then look up. Like you have to make a conscious decision to look down at the thing.
Just so huge.
It's so huge. It's like a lovely experience, but I would have rather the dub. So I spent most of my time paying attention to the visuals because, you know, that's why we're here. Yeah. I can read about what actually happened later. It's just a bunch of nonsense at the bottom usually anyways. Like, remember Kill La Kill? It's just like, threads, love, threads.
I remember
fascism.
There were a few times where I kept thinking, like, I wish the screen was smaller so I could tell what was going on.
It was really big.
The action, because like they'd have characters ping-ponging around the screen and you have to like follow it, but there's also like buildings being thrown around and background elements. And I'm like, I bet if I saw this in like a smaller size, I could really enjoy like the composition and the action. There
was a lot of things that were actually really cool with the composition too, because they always are, and they did a lot of the playing with size elements.
Yes, they did that a lot.
Yeah, because that's one of the things with like Kill La Kill, where it's like the Gamagori guy does all the Gamagori things.
Yes.
The shrinking.
I also loved how they would break character models, like when Leo goes crazy in the dragon, where he's just, like, completely triangle shaped and broken. And,
I like that black was reserved for them because it kind of gives that ash feel, but it's so good against the neon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the character designs I'd have to think about more too. Yeah, the color was really nice. I liked when he was dying and all ashy and this whole scene was ashy.
Yeah.
But then there was like pops of color. Like they use it really well. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And and there's the whole like pink and blue at the end.
Yeah.
where like when the gallows protecting people, they're all covered in blue, and then the fire is burning all pink everywhere else.
And the robots getting bigger, more and more robots.
Yeah.
So many mechs.
I always need to remember that like Trigger stuff, like it starts like really tiny, focused on one character, and by the end it's like the whole fucking universe.
Oh my god, yeah. It's always like that.
Every time I'm like, oh, I should have known.
Like I saw it coming. Like I kind of get bored with it sometimes, honestly. Like it was easy. It's the same kind of thing to follow. I think it's more interesting kind of what gets hung on that format for me.
What do you mean?
Like we all know that's going to end with a big universe thing. And I found it really difficult in this one, and in Luluco I found it a lot easier, but this one it felt too fast to move to the big things.
Yes,
and it also got a little tiring, I found, when it was like, okay, and then this, and then this, and then this. And it's more interesting for me to focus on like what the themes are, like how these characters relate to it. It's like, yeah, we're doing the Gurren Lagann thing, but like what makes this unique and different, right? Whereas if I find Gurren Lagann a lot more satisfying, and even Luluco more satisfying, because there's more time to build to it.
That's true.
Where it was like, this happens over such a quick period of time. I'm like, did we earn space? Like, it's like in less than
it's like the last third of the movie. It's
like in less than 2 hours did we earn to go to space.
It's like, because it builds up to a lot of things, and then right at the end it's like, bam, aliens, bam, space, bam.
Yeah. Like I think it was earned, but it also wasn't, because it like admittedly is like, okay, Deus Ex Machina gets thrown in, and now we're all this. Yeah. Like I liked the villain. I liked his build to being evil, and like hit the breaking of like his character.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. And yeah, I think I really have to like watch it again.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Because a lot of stuff goes by really fast, but I know it's like very dense visually and thematically.
Yeah.
So I'd love to go back and watch it again.
Oh yeah, totally. It's cute. It's good movie.
Fun.
Yeah.
I liked it.
It's good. I liked it.
It's good. I liked it. There was a gay smooch. I'm a little disappointed they didn't go like Kill La Kill, and they go on a date at the end.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, go full gay.
Go full gay. Yeah, it was a little like, are they gay? Or was this just a life kiss?
Right.
Yeah, it was a little too up for interpretation.
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh my god, she's chewing so hard. Yeah, I think that was it.
Go watch it if you haven't.
If you like it, you like it.
We also had a big fight over a furry anime.
Oh my god. Okay, I know. Okay, Ursula forever thinks I just don't know about anime, even though I know about anime. I literally am remembering what the original fight was about, where you did not believe that Gurren Lagann and Evangelion were related in any way. You were like, no, Evangelion is no. Which one did you not believe was Gainax? I think you.
I thought that Gurren Lagann was Trigger.
Yeah, and I don't think you realized that Trigger and Gainax were related in any way. You were like, no. No. They're inspired.
Well, no, I knew that like Trigger was formed from like another studio that closed.
Yeah. I know,
Don't embarrass me in front of our anime friends.
I know, but you didn't believe me about that, but I was right. And then I was right about this one too. Okay, so Ursula has been mad at me. She's been snippy at me because I was like, oh, I'm excited about the new Trigger furry anime. And okay, you know what? You explain it.
Okay, so there's 3 different things that I was confused about. So, okay. So when we first heard about Promare, I think at the same time it was announced that Trigger was doing a furry anime, which is what you're excited about.
Yes.
But at the same time, I knew
because it's by all the same people who do all the things we like.
No. But at the same time, there's another anime that came out recently about furries.
Beasters.
Beasters?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Okay. Beasters. So I assumed that Beasters was the trigger one because I've never looked at anything for it. I just knew there was a wolf in both of them. So I was like, that must be the one.
Yeah, and she kept being snippy with me. Snippy.
But then you were like, it's not that one. It's like a trigger one. And then for some reason, I thought the furry trigger anime was a movie, but I was probably mixing it up with Promare.
Yeah.
So that was our fight.
Yeah, and we continued to fighted with it all the way to the theater, where I was like, no, the trigger one is a TV show. I've heard of this 2 times. And you're like, no, it's a movie. No, you were like, it's a movie. The Beasters one is the furry anime that has episodes, and it's out now. And I'm like, the trigger furry anime isn't out yet. I would know. I would be on it.
I just assumed that they would only make one furry anime.
Oh. You know what I think I was really upset? Okay, get in here.
Come here.
I think I was really upset about like you being like it's out because I had seen no like clips of it and I was like, oh no. What are you yelling at?
I don't know, the cat. No one will play with me.
Come bring it over. Okay, I was really upset with it because I was really excited for it, and then I saw like no fan art or anything, and I'm like, oh no, if the furries anime's out and I'm seeing nothing for it, it must be bad. You had me so worried.
I'm sorry.
I just need to realize that you're not a real weeb. You don't know what anime is, and that's the truth.
I've been found out.
Yeah. I don't know anything about anime either, guys. I know very specific things about, like, 2 studios.
You're just a trigger stan.
Yeah.
That's it.
Actually, that's not true, because, like, I can if you show me different animes, I can usually tell you what studio they're from. Like, unless...
It's your magic power.
Yeah. Because I remember one, it was like, oh no, that's from Bones. And you're like, how did you know that? And then I was like, it just looks like a Bones show. The studio.
Yeah.
Oh man, I want to see if I'm right. I don't want to admit it to myself. I don't want to...
If you're wrong, are you going to put it in?
If I'm wrong, I'll put it in.
Okay.
Ha! I was right! Oh, okay. I was just like, Mob Psycho, that is a Bones show. And it is! Okay. Yeah. Okay. I was right. I was like, that just looks like a show that is made by Bones.
By Bones, okay.
It's so weird to say it. I hate that there's an anime studio named after me.
Named after? Wow! You're not that cool! You're not that anime.
Don't. You leave her alone. I have it on video if you hurt her.
Serena.
Come
here.
Oh wow, you did the good.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll stop recording.
Goodbye!
I was right about the anime.